This is types of triangles for geometry. We're going to start with the review problem. The review problem says that we are going to find the midpoint, the slope, and the distance of a given segment. So for midpoint, midpoint means to find the middle. So we're going to come here and we're going to find the middle. Middle basically means average. So to find the midpoint, you simply average the x's and you average the y's. So my coordinates here are going to be -5 and -3. And then this is going to be +1 and -5. So to average my x's and to average my y's, I'm going to go circle my x's. -5 plus 1 over 2. I'm going to box my y's. And I'm going to get -3 plus -5 over 2. And I add and divide by 2. That's going to be -2. Add and divide by 2. That's going to be -4. If you plot that point, -2, -4, it is the exact midpoint. Slope. Slope is rise over run. Rise, we're going to subtract the y's. Over run, we subtract the x's. And rise, I'm going to go -3 minus -5 and -5 minus 1. That's a double negative, makes it positive. That's going to be 2 over -6. So I get -1/3. And I can check here. My rise is 1, my run is 3, but it is negative from left to right, so this would be my slope. And then for distance, distance equals the giant square root. We subtract the x's squared plus subtract the y's squared. So I'm going to do -5 minus 1, and then -3 minus -5. Double negative makes a positive. This is -6 squared. Plus +2 squared, all underneath the square root sign. -6 times -6 is 36, plus 4. So you add that up, we get -40. If you simplify, that's 2 root 10. Coming here to types of triangles, there are 7 basic types of triangles. We can classify triangles by both their angles and their sides. When triangles classified by angles, we have acute, we have obtuse, and we have equiangular. And then we have a right triangle. Acute, right, and equiangular are called oblique triangles. And diagrams of each. Acute just means everything is less than 90 degrees. Obtuse, something's bigger than 90. One angle's bigger than 90. Equiangular, all 3 are congruent, all 3 angles, and of course a right triangle means one angle is 90 degrees. And then we come here to scaling, and scaling we classify by sides. When there are no equal sides, it is scaling, so all 3 sides different. Notice the different hatch marks. Or you have 2 congruent sides. Of course, that's isosceles. Or you have 3 congruent sides, and that's called equilateral, where all 3 sides are equal. So we're going to get some practice here. We want to classify this triangle both by its angles and by its sides. So let's look at all the angles. I have 67, I have a 90 and 23. So classifying by angles, This is a right triangle. Now let's look at the sides. 2.4, 5.6, 6.1, no sides are equal. Therefore, it is scaling. So we would call this a scaling right triangle. It says draw below, draw an isosceles right triangle. Of course, isosceles means two congruent sides, and right means you have a 90-degree angle. So I want to draw a triangle with two congruent sides that has a 90-degree angle. Here's two different versions. And that would show an isosceles right triangle.